Welcome back, everybody. It is April 26, 1992. There was a riot. I'm just kidding. That's a Sublime song. Actually, I am a huge Sublime fan, and I always do that on 426. So, anyway, it is April 26, 2019, 10:06 p.m. And if I asked you guys a question, if you were to say, what would you expect more, a hurricane this week or a winter storm, what would your answer be? If you didn't know what the weather was going to be already. Honestly, I would probably say tropical cyclone in the Atlantic. But no, we're getting a winter storm, and they've already named it. It's called Winter Storm XYLER, XYLER. We are on letter X, according to the new alphabetical chart the Weather Channel uses to name winter storms. So yes, we are in the end of April, heading into May in a week, and we have Winter Storm XYLER set to drop April snow all over the northern plains. Yeah, I'm not kidding about this. And then the southeast is just going to be getting drenched and flooded at the same time. So let's just read up on this really quick. A shift in the upper level pattern will take place late this week. I'm going to show you guys this all in Tropical Tidbits, and we're going to figure out why this is happening and what to really expect. This isn't going to be a crazy snowstorm, but it could hit some areas pretty hard, believe it or not. And the temperatures are just right for that really heavy, wet snow. You know, the type of snow that you don't want to be shoveling. The light stuff that you can blow away with a leaf blower. That's what we'd like, but this is looking to be more of like that heavy stuff you make snowballs with. So it might be fun for the kids, but certainly not fun for anyone over the age of 20, I want to say. Winter Storm XYLER will spread snow to southern Great Lakes Saturday. Below average temperatures are expected from the Rockies into the Great Lakes region. So you saw that cutoff I just showed you. You can kind of see it here. This is basically our jet stream is going like this. So it's coming down and then it's coming way up. That's why we got semi-good temperatures going on right now. That's all from the Gulf. That's all Gulf stuff being pulled up to the northeast, which we're dealing with right now. This is something I'm going to show you guys in a minute, but just check this out. This has been all day long where I live. Just raining, 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 non-stop rain, pouring, literally pouring. So, and it's not that cold out. It's been pretty mild for the most part. It did get a little chilly right before I left today, but you can see clear as day. It just has not stopped, and it has no signs of stopping for the next 2 days. That's rain. I can handle that. Winter storms in April or even close to May, that's when I cross the line, or I draw the line rather. But we could see it right here, guys, as we're moving into our current hour. I'm actually going to stop it right here on frame 200 for us so we could just look at what the setup is here. So this is it right here. This is our system. It's going to begin. It's actually already sort of beginning, but it's going to be considered a weak storm. So we got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I believe Monday, Tuesday is crunch time for this storm. But it's going to kind of hug the bottom of the Great Lakes and a little bit above right here. It's going to come to the northeast, then do its little counterclockwise spin. It may drag some snow into northern New York, possibly areas in Pennsylvania. Anything to the east of the Great Lakes is open game. We all know how lake effect snow works if the temperatures are right. But when I back this up here, we can watch the system that we were just watching for the last couple days, kind of peaking right now over the northeast. This is where I am, where I showed you all those videos we just played. This is kind of tapering off, but we still have that counterclockwise going on, so it's a little windy. But this is the system now we need to watch, and this is the one that's going to cause Winter Storm XYLER on April 26th. Well, not particularly today, but this is actually going to take place in a couple days, so we may see this storm on May 1st. So, all right, there you have it. That's the name, XYLER, or it could be XYLER. I'm not exactly sure. But a little more info on this. It may be late April, but Winter Storm XYLER will make you forget that it is spring in the Midwest this weekend. Snow, yes, that white stuff that we'd all rather forget about this time of year is on the way from Minnesota to New York. Okay, and guys, just so you know, New York does not mean only New York City. New York is a very big state. There's upstate New York, there's western New York, like Buffalo, that's right next to the Great Lakes, and then you have the little dot of New York, which is New York City. So Just want to make that clear. Cooler temperatures are also on the way from the northern Rockies into the northern plains and Great Lakes as a pattern change will usher in another round of below average temperatures. So that's your explanation according to the Weather Channel. Now let's take a look at tropical tidbits. We can see low pressure centralized basically in Canada above New York right now. But if we move forward a little bit, you can see how that counterclockwise motion, it's very, very capable of pulling that cold air down from Canada, and it usually does. So even before Winter Storm XYLER comes through, we have spotty snow areas in New York, the northwestern Pennsylvania I'm seeing right there, all surrounded by these tight lines around the L, which is low pressure system. That leads me to believe it's going to be high winds too. So we could be talking about, whiteout conditions in some areas, especially high areas, the high altitude areas in New York. Yeah, you might be getting some snow in the next couple days or in a day. But there's one little peak right here. There's this spot that comes through on Sunday. That kind of hugs the bottom of the Great Lakes right there, goes right through Minnesota and Iowa, and then kind of just whips up into New York. But what they're really talking about is this right here, beginning next week, Monday, Tuesday, this back end area. So it's going to be a midweek storm. It does have time to produce more or give us more info. It may change back into a more of a wet situation. We're hoping for that. But they have already named this thing a winter storm. I'm never going to get it. I'm not going to understand why they're calling it a winter storm. They should just call it storm, but that's not my job. So, but it's coming, and we're going to have to deal with it, and it's not going to be fun for some people, especially in the Midwest and the Rockies, and then it's kind of like a string storm that goes straight to New York. It's not going to dip down to the southeast or anything like that, but the southeast is going to be getting hit with flooding rains, so they don't need any more of that. And then going into next week, guys, May 1st, we need to talk again about Tornado Alley because we are seeing the perfect setup for another round of that stuff, so not fun. Now, I want to get into something interesting. This was sent to me by a Twitter follower. His name is Ryan Thomas. You can reach him at Ryan Thomas Q, RyanThomas, and the letter Q. Check this out. This is really cool. Let me back up here a little bit. So he was watching the Doppler radar, and this is in Pennsylvania. If you see the blue dot here, this is State College. That's where Penn State is. Here's Altoona, Williamsport, Harrisburg down here. Now check this out. These rings he caught. So he tweeted me, and at first he asked me what I thought they were, and I didn't see the tweet right away, and then he came back with a response. Apparently his meteorologist teacher told him that this is a swarm of bats or maybe high-flying birds that were picked up by the radar, which must be right here, or it could be a State College radar. I'm not sure if they have a tower in this exact area. They very well might, but this is very cool looking. I want to zoom in some more. Let's do that. Now they're saying it's bats. Now, this didn't take place at, or maybe it did. Yes, it did. This was 9:22 p.m. last night. The teacher of his mentioned that because it was during a dusk sort of time, that's when the bats come out, the radar literally picked up the birds and the bats flying in the sky. Do I believe it? I'm not sure. These are very interesting, very symmetrical shapes here. I know radars do beam out in circle shapes. We see that a lot on Doppler radars and stuff of that nature. But the way he explained this to me is it came up, it kind of like morphed, and then just disappeared out of nowhere. So I'm going to look into this a little more. Very interesting, very cool looking. I really appreciate that. Also, a friend of mine that watches basically every video and comments, Chris Adams. You guys can reach him on Twitter at Rare Photograph, R-A-R-E, and then the word photograph, one word, no underscore there. It's just at Rare Photograph. He submits a lot of really cool pictures. And then, of course, my amazing girlfriend, Caroline. You can get her on Instagram at TypeXFiles. Her pictures have been doing very well lately, so go give her a shout out. She's been working hard. She's doing a lot of birds lately, which is very interesting because I got this tweet today, and it's either birds or bats, so they say. So, all right, so we have a winter storm Right after we were just talking about 90-degree temperatures down in New Mexico, California, and then southeast of the U.S. And now we're going to see another winter storm, and it's the letter X. So we basically have nothing left besides Y and Z. We did kind of predict that we would get through the entire list earlier in the winter, if you guys remember. So with that said, that's really all that I can really bring to you at this moment. I'm going to be working on something else for later on tonight, if not tomorrow. As always, I know I say that all the time, and it's usually the next day, but, you know, these videos do take time, and Caroline and I still work full-time jobs at the same time. So we do what we can when we can, but this is certainly newsworthy, and definitely want you guys to know about it. So this thing's going to hug the top of the country, guys. So south states, I'd be more worried about the tornado situation and the flooding rains that are coming as opposed to this winter storm. But the fact that we're getting a winter storm basically on the border of April going into May, still can't believe I'm talking about a winter storm on April 26th right now. But it is believable. It's happened before. It'll happen again. And you never know, guys. May is another one of those months where it's a transition period where we should be transitioning into summer. But things are changing, guys. Bottom line, our weather's changing. As far as the U.S. goes, our 4 seasons certainly changing. And really, it's quite amazing to actually be alive during this type of change. So there are good parts of it and there's bad parts of it, but at least I get to jump on here and tell you guys about it. So that's my favorite part. With that said, though, guys, I'm going to let you go. Have a great night. Chances are we will have a video out tomorrow rather than later on tonight. Much of you will be sleeping, but I got some news from my California friends I want to talk about. And obviously, I certainly wanted to show you this weird anomaly we caught, or should I say Ryan Thomas caught. Remember, this is Ryan Thomas's shot. Go give him a shout out. Go give him a like. You can find him on Twitter at Ryan Thomas Q. All right, guys, have a great night. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.